Welcome back, YouTube. So, how you doing on that carbon cake? Are you getting some of that to stick to the inside of the walls of your bowl? Good. If it's working for you, great. If you can't see any quite yet, keep at it. It'll grow. Don't worry. All right, today's lesson is going to be on the types of tobacco that we use in today's blending of our pipe tobacco. Now, I'm going to read an article about the types of tobacco that came out of Pipes and Tobacco magazine. Now, if you've never seen this magazine or you don't know that much about it, it is a great reference to further your education on pipes and tobaccos. If you've got a brick and mortar tobacconist around, they will probably carry this magazine. If they don't, then I would go online and subscribe to it because it really does have a lot of great information. Okay, like I said, we are going to be talking about the types of tobaccos. Not the blends of tobaccos, but the types of tobaccos. First one we're going to talk about is Virginias. A popular, sweet, and fragrant gourmet tobacco in the pipe smoker's world, and in the manufacture of cigarettes as well, is Virginia leaf, also known as bright or bright leaf, sometimes called bright leaf Virginia. This is by conventional market parlance tobacco that has been flue cured, which is to say rapidly dried in a flue curing barn at high temperature for a week to 10 days in clean air heated by a furnace. Bright leaf tobacco is called Virginia for historical reasons, but it is called Virginia no matter where it is grown or cured, with rare exceptions. In the tobacco trade, Virginia tobacco is defined not by where the farm is located, but by 1. A genetic line of seed, whose plants produce thin leaves and whose characteristics have, since the mid-19th century, been hybridized for the flue curing. 2. Leaves harvested when they are fully ripe, often to the point of yellowing, which maximizes the presence of natural sugars in the leaf. And 3. The flue curing process itself, which helps ensure a high natural sugar content in the final product. So that's Virginia leaf. The next leaf we're going to be talking about is Burley. Burley tobacco. If Virginia is the diva of tobacco varietals, then Burley is the workhorse by a considerable margin. Burley is the most predominant leaf used to create pipe blends. Indeed, Robert Winans wrote in his Trieste, the Pipe Smoker's Tobacco Book, for many smokers the name Burley means pipe tobacco. Burley genetics produce thicker leaves than those found in Virginia tobacco. Notably, variants exist within the Burley line, to most famously dark Burley and white Burley. The latter, a botanical mutation propagated in 1864 in Ohio. Related varietals, such as dark air-cured and fire-cured, show up in some pipe mixtures, but most Burley blends use leaf from white Burley genetics that has been air-cured or at ambient temperatures. The key to understanding Burley is that it is distinct from Virginia leaf. Burley contains almost no natural sugars. This is for 2 reasons. First, the plants are harvested all at once while the leaves are still green and low in natural sugar. The stalks are cut and the plants hung in open-air curing barns where they dry slowly and naturally, typically for 6 to 8 weeks before all the green chlorophyll has cured out. So that's Burley. Now we're going to talk about Orientals, Latakias, English, and Balkan blends. Oriental tobaccos come from the northern Mediterranean regions of Greece, Turkey, Cyprus, Syria, and the Balkans. They generally feature small leaves, most often sun-cured. Orientals are naturally aromatic, concentrated in volatile waxes and oils, giving them a savory piquancy or sweet and sour flavor. Latakia, historically most of it a product of Syria and Cyprus, begins as an Oriental type and is additionally cured in the smoke of open fires using aromatic woods, imparting a distinctly smoky, spicy, leathery flavor. Disagreement exists about distinctions between an English blend and a Balkan. All Balkan blends are English, but not all English blends are Balkan. A blend becomes more Balkan as more Oriental leaf from the Balkan region is added. Some people new to the pipe smoking find that English and Balkan blends give them less tongue bite than do flavored Burley aromatics or sugary Virginias. So if you're a pipe smoking neophyte looking for a blend that is easy on the palate, try a few mild English or Balkan blends. The next blend we're talking about is Perique. Perique is made exclusively in St. James Parish, Louisiana. Perique starts as an air-cured tobacco, but is then subjected to additional unique processing for 12 to 18 months. The leaf is packed into large oak whiskey barrels and placed under great pressure by the use of a screwjack, where it undergoes anaerobic fermentation. That is, the leaf stews in its juices, with almost no air intermingling, owing to the high pressure under which the tobacco is packed. Periodically, during fermentation, a minimum of 3 times, the tobacco is unpacked, worked to separate the leaves, aired out, and then repacked for additional months of pressure treatment. This pressure fermentation greatly alters and amplifies the flavor of the leaf. Perique is intense and rarely smoked by itself. It is a condiment leaf, added in small doses, typically few percent by weight in blends that use Perique, and it brings a touch of piquancy, a figgy pepperiness, and fermented plum, olive, and pine notes. Perique goes especially well in concert with Virginias to create a Virginia Perique blend known to aficionados as vapor. I want to bring your attention to one of the things that it said here, one of the comments it made. Perique is intense and rarely smoked by itself. It is a condiment leaf, added in small doses. Yeah, boy, Perique is a strong tobacco. So if there's a tobacco out there that's primarily Perique, you need to kind of watch out for it. All right, the last blend, or not blend, but the last leaf that we're going to talk about is Cavendish. Cavendish is not a leaf type. It can be made of almost any kind of tobacco. Many different definitions of Cavendish exist, but generally, Cavendish is tobacco that has been highly processed, sweetened or flavored or both, steamed or stoved, pressed into cakes and sliced into flakes or ribbons, or granulated or milled, perhaps repressed. Some Cavendish is altered to a point where it can be all but impossible to identify the leaf type. Cavendish is available in many cuts and flavors. One practical industry use for Cavendish is that a properly selected Cavendish in a blend can help stabilize burn qualities and moderate a product's flavor profile. So if you've got if a blender is using different tobaccos and he lights it up and he says, "Ooh, man, this is strong," they'll put Cavendish in to kind of lighten that strength and make it a little bit lighter. Okay, those are the types of tobacco that we use when we blend our tobaccos. Now, I wanted to tell you that I am primarily, I'm getting ahead of myself. There are 2 primary types of tobacco, aromatic and English. Aromatic blends are sweetened by what's called casings or flavorings. You can have vanilla flavor, caramel flavor, chocolate flavor, pumpkin spice. There's an array of different flavors that you can case tobacco to give it its flavor. The second type is called an English blend. Now, I'm not sure of the date. You can look it up if you want. It'll be part of your homework. But a long time ago in England, when pipe tobacco was first being produced, they passed a law saying that no casings or no flavorings were allowed to be mixed into the tobacco to change its flavor. So when you get an English blend, what the blenders do is they'll take the Perique, and they'll take the Virginias, and they'll take the Cavendish, and they'll mix it up in different portions to get a different taste. If you want an English blend that's more sweet, then you put Virginias or Cavendish in. If you want it more spicy or a little bit more spicy, you put more Perique in, or Orientals. I primarily am an aromatic smoker. I, for some reason, have a heightened sweet tooth, and I'm just not really very good at tobaccos that are on a harder edge, that have a smokier taste, and that are spicy. Now I do smoke a blend of tobacco that's considered what's called a crossover. What that is if you start out primarily with aromatics, and then you decide, hey, I think I'd like to try an English blend. Well, a crossover is sort of a little of both. It's a sweeter English blend. So that way it will get you used to the Periques and the Orientals that are typically used for just a hard-nosed, straight-up English blend. Okay, well that's it for now. I hope that you were able to get some good information out of this lesson. If you liked this video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe, I'd appreciate that as well. And I wanted to make you aware that I have created a Facebook page. Just go onto Facebook and put in Mutton Chop space Piper and ask to become a friend, and I'll shoot it right out to make sure that you're included as one of my friends on my page. What I'm going to try to do with that is I'm going to try to do a daily what I'm smoking, how it makes me feel, what I'm tasting, things like that. I hope that you'll join and be able to give me some feedback on some of the pipe tobacco that you're smoking. Well, until our next video, I want to wish you and your family happy piping.